So today we are starting with lab. We'll see how to set up the entire lab. So first of all, we'll see how to install ISE. While installing ISE, you'll see it will be installed in two different phases. Okay. So first phase will take around 45 to 15 minutes to complete, and second phase will take around 15 to 20 minutes to complete. So once let's start doing the ISE installation. After that, we'll come to this topology. So we'll create one virtual machine. We'll go with the custom. Next. And I'll go with the install operating system later. Here I'll select a Linux because it's a Linux based. In a Linux, you can see you have other Linux like 2.4 X kernel, right? And or you can see we have a Linux 7 64-bit. See, for Linux installation also I have created the lab guide. If you guys want, you can follow that also. You can select a Red Hat. You can select a Red Hat Enterprise Linux 7 64-bit. Okay, so let's come here. Red Hat Linux, Red Hat Enterprise Linux 64-bit. Select this one and say next. Write the name here as ISE1, and wherever you want to save, you can save it. Say next. I'll give 2 CPUs and 16 GB RAM is required for this lab. For this particular ISE, you must give 16 GB RAM. Say next. ESXi installation. I'll check if I have kept somewhere. Say next, next, next. Create. Give at least 200 GB. Minimum requirement. Minimum requirement of 200 GB while giving the hard drive. Say next. And edit it before you submit. Go to CD DVD. Make sure that connect at power on is selected. Use ISO image file. Go to the location where you have kept ISO image of your ISE 2.4 and say close. Finish. Make sure the adapter you have kept in the bridge mode. I'll say power on. Select the first option, Cisco ISE installation. Press enter. It will check all the required hardwares, whatever we have allocated, 16 GB RAM, 200 GB hard drive, right? All those stuff it will check, CPU allocations, everything. If your prerequisite to install the ISE are enough, if it is good, it won't show you any kind of error. Installation will begin. Or else it might show you error right at the beginning itself. It won't proceed. So now it will go for all the prerequisites like 16 GB RAM. Say it can run with 8 GB RAM also, but processing will be very slow. So minimum they have given the requirement is 16 GB, not 8 GB. Can you see here it is going for a check? Physical RAM, CPU, everything got detected over here. And the process has started. It's in a progress. So if you get, the starting package installation process, right, it means all your prerequisites are done. From here, it will take around 45 to 50 minutes, might be 1 hour also, depending on your resources, what you have given. So until this gets completed for the phase one installation, we are going to build a lab. So I'll build the entire lab on EVNG. First of all, I'll take a switch. Take iOS switch and put more than 8 adapters, like put 16 adapters. Normal L2 switch. This is my LAN switch. Okay, here I would need, see, this ICE is connected on the VMware. So I need to connect with management cloud. And through one management cloud, I can connect with the multiple hosts, right? I can connect with ICE. I can also connect with AD. If I'm having the Active Directory server, I can connect with the same link itself. Further, if I want any admin PC, right? Okay, for that I'll put a different connection, but one connection is also enough. ICE and AD I'll be connecting through the same link. And after that, I need one gateway. So let's take ASA. Take ASAV. Say it's not important to take all the devices at a time. One by one also you can take. Okay, I mean, like, it's not important to connect all the devices as shown in your topology. I need Windows PC. So first of all, we are going to work with the .1x. So if you want only to take a single PC for a .1x, even that is fine. Okay. So take .1x PC. One by one, we can add all the devices. Later on, we'll take a map PC. Right now, I'm showing you a lab that you can start with the minimum devices. Okay. After that, I'll take two routers. One, I'll make it as a R1, or this is going to also act further as a web server. I'm going to take one cells router. So let's take this is R2 for cells. I'm going to connect with my base PC as a management PC. right? Okay, let's see the topology. See this map PC, I'll add it later on. ISE Active Directory and candidate PC we added. Okay, .1x, this part we'll add it later on, and this part again we'll add it later on. Right now I'm just working with the minimum devices. I need one Active Directory. How many of you guys don't know how to create an Active Directory? Anyone else online don't know how to create an Active Directory and DNS server? Anyone online?
Yeah. Hello.
Text me like how many of you don't know. Okay, Active Directory configuration we'll see in the next class. Here it's not important right now. Okay. Okay. So I can take a Windows server over here also. I have a 2016 server that's required according to your examination. This is my AD and DNS server. But one thing, it's better we'll take it here. We'll install the Active Directory DNS server on VMware, and I'll connect that with EVNG. Okay. So later on I'll show you how to install it. Right now, I already have this Windows server. Okay. Because right now while installing the ISE, I need the DNS server. I need a AD server. I mean like DNS server, IP address, DNS domain name, I need it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to install the DNS server from beginning. Let it do it right now. So everything will be in a process right now. Okay, so I'll just create a virtual machine. I'll go with the typical next. I'll select a Windows Server image over here. Hold on. Connecting my external hard drive. Just a minute. Windows 2016 server. Select it, automatically detected. Say next. Next. Can you see here you have a different versions? Out of that, I want you to select standard one. Don't go with a data center or anything else. Go with the standard one. Because if you go with the core or other one, that might go with the CLI. Okay, AD and DNS server. 60 GB hard drive is enough. Most of you guys are getting confused with the initial selecting part only. Like, what are you selecting? Like, which Windows should you install? because in that, if you are selecting a wrong Windows, it will go in a CLI mode. Windows Server will get installed in the CLI mode itself. So you have the entire installation will be wrong. So this is how you select the correct one. Like as you want the GUI based configurations, like not the CLI based configurations. I'll create one notepad in which we are going to note down all the configurations from the beginning itself for our devices. So I'll start all these devices right now. First of all, I'm going to configure L2 configuration on the switch. You can see here you have a core, standard, all these things. Select the standard one. And installation started. So it will happen. Meanwhile, we'll see our configuration. On this switch, first of all, I'm going to do L2 configuration. Enable configure terminal host name as a switch. Now here we'll select interface range. We have G0 by 1. This ASA interface which is connected, that will be a part of management. Let's see the interfaces which will be a part of management. This management interface G0 by 1 and G0 by 0. So I can take it like G0 by, I can see G0 by 1, G0 by 1, G0 1 by 1, sorry, G1 by 1, G0 by 0. Okay, let's select it one by one. G0 by 0, which is connected to ISE or AD. After that, we have G0 by 1, which is connected to ASA, and this management PC, which is G1 by 1, right? This Windows server, this web server, also I'll take it inside the management itself. So this is my like Z0 by 3. .1x I don't want to take, and R2 cells also I'll take in a different one. Before this, I'll create a VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 50, 3 VLANs, one for management, cells, and guest. Under this, I'll give switch port host command. I hope you guys understand what's the meaning of switch port host. Switch port host executes 3 commands with a single command. Switch port mode access, port fast, and it will disable the port channel. You cannot create any port channel at this particular interfaces if you have given this switch port host command. So remember, in an examination, at the port wherein you have to create a port channel, by mistake also don't give this command, switch port. Sorry, I mean like wherever you have to create a port channel, don't execute the switch port host command by mistake also, because this is going to disable the port channel. Now I'll say switch port access VLAN 10. Exit. I'll go to the interface where .1x is connected. Interface G0 by 2, switch port host. I'll say switch port access VLAN. What is our guest VLAN? 50. I'll assign guest VLAN to .1x PC here. After that, we have R2 interface. Sorry. Okay, yeah. Interface G1 by 0. Switch port host, switch port access VLAN 20. That's my sales VLAN. So this is your initial L2 configurations.
So don't we have to define the IP address for each VLAN?
Wait, I'm coming. That will be L3 configuration.
Okay.
Okay, done. Now we are going to configure L3 config on switch. IP routing. It makes you to route the L3 packets, or else it won't do a routing. Make sure everything you have configured. You might have a reachability to the switch, but while sending the or while doing a routing, it might not work. So a single command might ruin your entire task. So make sure you have a IP routing command. Interface VLAN 10. I'll assign IP address 10.11.11.15. We have already decided. Subnet mask 24. No, don't forget to give no shut command. You might be thinking it's a virtual interface. Why should I give? See here. Interface VLAN 10. I created. Do so IP interface brief. Is it up or down? Not all the switches will have VLAN interfaces up by default, mostly with the new versions. So make sure that you execute no shut. Make a habit of using no shut everywhere. Though I know it will automatically come up, but still I'll suggest you to use no shut. In examination, those who assumed that the interface might come up automatically, they all got stuck. Right. So do not assume, just execute it. Interface VLAN 20. What's IP address? 172.16.20.15 for VLAN 20. VLAN 50. 10.50.50.15. These are my L3 interfaces. Done. Now what else I need? I need a DHCP configuration. I configured a IP address for two different purposes. One, to configure a direct DHCP for each VLANs, for each subnet, and also to configure a routing. So I'll say IP DHCP exclude. First of all, I'm going to exclude the addresses which are being used in my network. So from 10 subnet, I'll have multiple IP addresses used. My ISE IP will be 130, 130.1.75, 104. So I can see multiple IP addresses .15, right, used over here. So why don't I exclude the IP address till 130, right? So in examination might not be with the range. It might be like based on the IP addresses, right? Here I'm going to exclude it with the range 10.11.11.1 till 10.11.11.130. I'm excluding it. Okay, let's check the command. I hope it's correct. Yeah. Now I'll exclude it from 172.16. It's 20.1 till 172.16.20. Till 15 I want to exclude it. IP, sorry, हाँ क्या हुआ? Hold on guys, एक मिनट. पॉसिबल ही नहीं है. I excluded for cells. I'll exclude for guests. Okay. I'll create a DHCP server. IP DHCP pool. I'll give some pool name. Let's write a pool name as a VLAN 10 for VLAN 10. This is just a name, not indicating any VLANs. DHCP servers will be connected based on the subnet what we have assigned. Based on that, we are creating a DHCPs. So inside this will assign network. What's my network? 10.11.11.0/24. You can add it like this. In examination, I'll recommend you to write it subnet mask. After that, we need to define the gateway. What's the command to define a gateway?
Default router.
Just say default router, you can say. And for 10.11.11.0 subnet, what gateway I want to keep? I want ASA to act like a gateway, not this one. They belong to same subnet, so not an issue. I can make this as a gateway. This I want to make it a gateway for the different reasons. In examination, you might have such scenarios. So I'll make a default router as a 10.enabled 11.11.10 as a gateway. What's my DNS server? 10.11.11.75. So in this way, I can execute all the details. That's a single command. Done. Even I could write a default if inside the DHCP pool, if default is used only with a single command, I don't have any issue with the writing a default. Now let's say out of this, how would you choose? Let's say if I say D, press the question mark. You can say with the D, there is a default. But if I write a word default, that would be fine to define the default router. I don't need to write a hyphen also. So try to use shortest command that you can to avoid these spelling mistakes. In examination, that is recommended. Write a shortest command. So in this way, I could write like default also, right? It's not to show that I know how to write a command. It's just about, in short, how can you execute the commands. VLAN 20, its name, network 172.16.20.0. My default router will be 172.16.20.15, my switch interface. I'm making switch interface as a gateway because for the cells, I can't make this router, which is in a different subnet, as a gateway, right? So I'll make a switch interface as a next hop to do a routing between any other subnets. My DNS will be same. I'll have a DNS server, only a DNS, single DNS server. I just need to make a reachability between this subnet to DNS server so that I can resolve any domain addresses. VLAN 50, subnet 10.50.50.0, gateway 10.50.50.15, DNS will remain same. You can check by giving a command side by side, keep verifying also. So IP interface brief. So IP DHCP pool, how many excluded, how many leased, how many total addresses, everything will be shown here. Okay. So like that, use all the commands. Make sure that interfaces that we created are up. So till this point, we have done the configurations till now on the switch. Turn on AC now. Okay. Let's see our installation of a Windows 2000 server. You can see it's ready. It's ready to configure, but let's take the configuration of all these devices, then we'll continue. So here I'm going to take the configuration of a web server. Enable configure terminal, host name as a web, interface G0 by 0 with the IP address 10.11.11.1, subnet mask 24, no shared exit, IP route 0.0.0 towards 10.11.11.10, IP HTTP server, username as an admin with the privilege of 50 and the password as a Cisco. All right. So as of now, I'll give these commands only. Later on, I'll give more commands. After that, I'll configure on R2. That's your cells. Here I'll say R2, IP address will be 172.16.20.2. My gateway will be 172.16.20.15. After I'll configure on ASA. Go to the configure terminal, host name ASA, interface G0 by 0 with name if, inside with IP address 10.11.11.10 with the subnet mask 24, no share, exit. Let's take all these configurations and paste it on the respective devices. I hope all of you have gone through ASA classes. Okay, all these basic configurations are done. Now I'll minimize this and go with, let's see ISE. Can you see ISE is still in installation phase? It's more than a half an hour. Still it is in installation phase, a first phase of installation itself. So let's come to DNS server. Now here I'm going to configure it. First of all, I'll configure IP address statically. I don't need IPv6. You can uncheck that. 10.11.11.75. Subnet mask 10.11.11.10 as a gateway. DNS you can put it as a 10.11.11.75 itself. Before you configure, just turn off the firewall, because you'll be testing the connectivity from outside also. Your request will come from outside as well. Let me manage the resolution first. In a server manager, you can see local servers, and under the local servers, I don't see any servers configured right now. Nothing is there. The first thing before you configure is to change your host name. Let's say I'll write AD. It will prompt you to restart the server. We'll restart later. You can see Ethernet IP address, and can you see IE Exchange security configuration is on? I want you to turn it off. Make sure that your time zone is the perfect one, Indian time zone. Host name also we changed. It will take effect after the restart. And here also you can see again Defender also can make it turn off, not important. You can say IExtends is off. Okay. And one more thing you need to make sure, go to control panel. Go to user section. User account password is important. Create a password. I don't have a new password. Create a new password. Okay. Capital C small ISC 0123. Capital C small ISC 0123. In a hint also, I'll write it down. Create. These are prerequisites. If you don't configure all this stuff and directly go for Active Directory or DNS configuration, it will show you error. Okay. So let's restart the PC. Let's try to log in with administrator. Instead of logging through any particular other user, use administrator. That's the best one. Again, here I have to create the password. Capital C small ISC 0123. Capital C small ISC 0123. Use administrator account. Say okay. Username. Login. In examination, they might tell you to log in through a separate user, like I have a HP user and administrator user. But if you try to execute the task through the administrator also, it will work. But in examination, they haven't told you to log in through administrator. They have given you the separate name. If you don't read that question properly, what you'll do? You'll log in through the administrator, it will work. But as a result, mark you'll get as a 0. For example, I know where you guys are going to make a mistake. If you are not reading the questions properly, okay. I told you it's like with administrator also it will work. Like in general, what you're practicing. You are not reading the questions properly. And you just went to solve the questions. The authentication request should be forwarded to the Radius server ISE. Fine. I should check the SSH user in the Active Directory. Fine. It's pre-configured. For SSH user credentials, this. Make sure that user admin1 belongs to the admin lab. Okay, fine. The authorization, I should check the SSH user to this. Fine. Required use account CCI password capital C small ISC 0123 to join ISE with AD. See, they have given you password same for admin, for the administrator also, and for the CCIE also. You can execute the same task by using administrator account and by using CCIE also. If I log in or if I integrate the Active Directory with ISE using administrator, it will work because the credentials are correct. That is just to, to divert you. Everything it will work. But are you going to get a mark? No. They have told you, you need to log in with the username CCIE and the password as this while integrating or while joining the Active Directory with ISE. So be very careful. I'm telling you, when we'll do a preparation for a CCIE this time, we'll take one task to complete 1 week. If we have 20 tasks, then we'll take 20 weeks to complete. First of all, individual tasks, then we'll come back to a overall task and we'll find out what is the perfect way of doing the lab. So it is going to take around 2-3 months to make a actual solution.
So this username CCI was predefined in the AD, or we have to create?
It was predefined.
Okay.
AD configuration, nothing you have to do in the examination. That will be predefined. That is for sure. Non-Cisco devices, whatever configurations you need, that will be pre-present. You don't have to do anything. Just in your labs, you just for your knowledge purpose, how to configure, how to work, I'm showing you. Okay. Now, once PC restarted, let's start the server manager. Click on add roles. Before that, click on local server. Can you see host name changed, IP address, IEXN security configuration off? All this stuff are done. Now just go to the dashboard and click on add the roles and the features. Say next. Next. Can you see the same IP address? You must see this thing. Next. Can you see we have Active Directory domain services, add features. You can see LDAP is also there. If you want to add LDAP, you have to add this service because in examination, they are not going to ask you with the active, LDAP. So I'm not going to take a LDAP. DNS service also there. Both the services you can select at a time, no issues. Say next. Next. Install it. Let's see the ISE installation also. Can you see it's ready with the setup? Everything we have ready. Only we need to make our DNS server ready. Okay. By the time, let's check a reachability from our ASA. I'll try to ping 10.11.11.1 web server reaching. .15 my switch. After that, Active Directory .75. Unreachable. Go to AD settings. It's in a NAT mode. Put in a bridge mode. Working now? So connectivity wise, everything is fine. Yeah. Still 31 GB is available. Hmm. Okay, I'll say close. Now, can you see AD and DNS has been configured? But you have one notification over here. This notification you have to complete. You can see from this server. Means DNS configuration is still left. Active Directory has been done. Let's add a domain name. What domain name you want to put? We pre-decided, right? Security.com as our internal domain. I'll add a new forest, not an existing forest. So security.com, it means new domain. It will check whether this domain is already used in the network or not. Is it conflicting or what? If not, then it will allow you. And here we'll put a password. Capital C small ISC 0123. Capital C small ISC 0123. Next. Don't go with the create a DNS delegation. Click on additional option. It will come with the net BIOS name as a security. You can turn it off. Next. Okay, say next. Next. And say install. See, these are the prerequisites getting checked. Okay, checking if a group policy, like everything will be checking. That host name and password to account, whatever I had given, right? Those things will be checked right now. This is also fine.
That's locked already.
Okay, so now see here, guys. Okay, I should get the server was successfully configured and domain controller. Okay. Okay, it automatically restarted. For the first time, it might take some time to come up. Okay. Okay, guys, from the admin, you have like they have come for feedback. Okay. So they'll be asking you some questions you need to answer. Okay, I'll be back in 5 minutes.
So good afternoon. So you guys are all from Karnataka? Chennai. You were Chennai. And anyone else from anywhere outside? Yours. Okay. So mine, what's? Oh, Jammu and Kashmir. Nice. You must be finding this place really hot now. It's snowing over there. Yeah. So my name is Lavanya, and I'm here to take the feedbacks. I also conduct personality development classes also. I'm an MD grad, and I'm working here as a digital marketing executive. and I also give trainings of this feedbacks and personality, communication skills, all these things. So please tell me in what course is going on right now. CCIE? Yes. So tell me anything, any improvements required, any class schedule you feel that should be changed, or anything that needs improvement. Please tell me anything. The teacher is teaching a little fast, you want it to be slow, or anything, whatever it is. Just tell me whatever improvements are required. Everything is going fine. All are getting whatever sir is teaching, right?
We need a website where you can find native videos from CCNA.
You need a website where you can find the CCNA videos.
CCNA to the up-to-date videos because in Drive they are editing the videos after getting over 15 pieces.
Okay, so you're not following it up.
We are not able to follow it. So we have to download it. In case you download the edited link, that's why. Only the separate website.
I'll tell the management regarding this.
The tools also.
With the tools and everything, right? And whatever it's taught in the class, you need that as well, right? Okay, fine. Anything else? For communications. Communication classes we have Wednesday and Friday. So last Friday we had, so coming week Wednesday there will be classes. Time, please talk to Zamir sir regarding this. He's scheduling the timings and all for communication classes. Okay. Fine then, all the best.
And one thing.
Yes.
Yes, we have all the server availabilities here in top server.
Okay.
But if one guy is using one server and then another guy can't access it.
Okay.
There are new servers that has come from Delhi, right?
Yeah.
At least make that available.
Okay, fine. So you there's one server is one
we
and
have
you,
servers.
okay,
But
okay.
if one is using, we cannot use it.
Okay.
So from morning till evening we have classes.
Hmm.
Then if I want to access any server, no, if any other guy is sitting,
Okay.
I can't. So at least
Cool.
a little bit flexibility.
Cool. Then everybody will be able to use the time.
That's
Cool. All right. I'll talk to the management regarding this. Okay. Fine. Anybody else? Anything?
No remotes for AC.
Okay. Most important issue. Okay. I'll tell the manager.
because this one we owned it after 2
Yeah.
to 3 months. Today I connected with my mobile.
Okay. Cool. I'll tell the management regarding this. Anything else? Lights.
Anything,
No.
bathroom toilets.
Okay. That also needs improvement.
Yes, really.
Yeah,
Water is not coming.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that
And-
is really is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell the management this specifically.
Yes.
And anything else? Nothing. All
Teaching wise, okay.
teaching wise okay. Schedule anything? Any changes you guys want? No, it's all good, right? Okay, fine. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you.
I don't want to be while giving a feedback. Toilet issue, AC issue, server issue.
They are basically for trainer issue or what it is. Okay. So let's see. Still coming up.
No problem.
You feel good. Oh, yeah, sitting here.
Online guys also gave a feedback. Internet issue. Capital C, small ISC 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now everything is good. Okay, our server is configured. You can see You must see two servers coming here, AD and DNS. Can you see AD and DNS servers getting installed? So our domain name is security.com. Now we are good to go with ISE setup. So I'll type setup setup, press enter. Host name, I'll write host name ISE1 because in future we are going to do HA with the ISE. So I need two ISE devices and these names will matter. Without a domain name, you cannot do a HA between two firewalls. So domain name should not conflict. So write it with the planned name like ISE1, there I'll give ISE2 like that. What's our IP address? 10.11.11.130. Subnet mask 24. Gateway 10.11.11.10. Domain security.com.
Your last line is not visible.
Yeah, I see.
Name server. What's the primary server IP? 10.11.11.75. Do I have another name server? No. NTP server, let's make 75 my Active Directory as a time server. Do you have another NTP? No. Time zone UTC, let's make it UTC. Do you want to enable SSH? Yes. Domain name, sorry, username admin by default taken. If you want to change, you can write it here itself, or else in a bracket it will be accepted. Password capital C small ISC 0123, capital C small ISC 0123, accepted. Now it will bring up interfaces. It means it is going to check all the details that you have mentioned here. Okay, like gateway, DNS, NTP, whatever the IP addresses, domain name, whatever you have mentioned, it will check all the connectivities. If everything is fine, it will proceed for next level of installation, or else it will show you error here itself. Say, without doing a configuration, it's just like you can configure the IP addresses, everything, and if it shows you error, then you can skip it and you can do the installation. But in my case, I just want everything to work. It should ping, all the reachability should work so that it will synchronize properly, right, from beginning itself. You can see here, it was checking all the network interfaces, gateway, primary DNS server, everything it checked. It found everything and it proceeded for the next level of installation. If there would be error here itself, it would show you error, yes or no, do you want to continue or you want to skip, something like that. So I didn't get any kind of errors because in my case, my gateway, my DNS server, domain name, everything was perfectly reachable. It checked the reachability and it proceeded. That is by default there when you configure DNS and all. I don't need to specifically configure any DNS over there. It can act like a DNS, sorry, NTP.
It is synchronized time with every device.
No, not every devices, just for ISE I have given. Okay. You can see guys, it has gone for a next level of installation here. It will take around 15 to 20 minutes to complete. Okay, if you want to check a reachability of a ISE, you can check. All good. So now our entire configuration is done. All our basic configurations are done. In a network, recommended network source IP, whether core switch or AD. I can make any device to work like a NTP. I could configure NTP on a switch also to make it as an NTP server.
So all the
To all the devices also we could make that. Okay. But here I didn't feel like that to make all the devices to synchronize with the NTP server, because I need to integrate the Active Directory with the ISE. So on the ISE and Active Directory, I just made the time to be same. Right. Isaac, is that fine?
Yes. It's okay.
So guys, next what we are going to see on ISE, we are going to see, first of all, a default. See, first of all, we are going to do network administration, not a device administration. We'll see network administration. And for the network administration, we'll have a default policies. Under the default policies, what type of policies? We'll see authentication policy, authorization policy, and protocols. These three things we are going to see first of all. Once we are clear with this, then we are going to create users. We are going to create identity, you can say. After that, we'll create a identity group. We'll create a group for devices and locations. All this basic stuff we'll do. Okay. After that, we'll see system password policy. We'll see identity password policy. Let me write here default. Okay. So these are the initial things that we are going to see, guys. First of all, we'll understand the basic part, right? And then only we'll go for any other stuff. After this, we are going to see we'll see wired dot 1x. With the default policies. Second, we'll see wire dot 1x with custom policies. Then we are going to see VLAN tag or VLAN assignment. Then we'll see DACL. Okay. So these are our initial phase of installation, means the tasks, the labs that we are going to do. Okay, guys. So ISE installation is in the progress right now. Until this is not completed, we cannot start anything. So tomorrow, this, I mean, like today itself, after some time, it will get installed. After that, we can process. Okay. So I'll see you guys tomorrow in next class.